I've had some questions about where we buy our seed. So I wanted to do a video about that because it's just easier than answering multiple people over and over. Our most recent purchase, and we have not purchased from this company before. It's the Victory Seed Company out of Oregon. And let's see what we have here. First of all, I wanted to note that whenever I order anything online, usually it says customer comments, and I will write thank you. If I don't have anything else that I want to make a note about, I'll write thank you. And for the first time ever, a company has actually acknowledged that, and they hand wrote on the order, and thank you. So that was really nice that they acknowledged that I had said thank you. Let's see here. The first thing I want to show you is not a seed. I have a love for anything spearmint, and Victory Seeds has an old-time candy store on their website, and they had these C. Howard's spearmint mints. So I bought a package, included them in the seed order, and didn't tell my husband until it arrived. I said I snuck something in there. He didn't mind. So I haven't tried them yet. I wanted to get a video done about our seeds and include those. And they wrapped them in bubble wrap so they wouldn't break in shipping, which I wouldn't mind. I'd eat the pieces anyway. And let's see, what did we get from Victory Seeds? Cosmic purple carrots. Now, one thing about Victory Seeds I noted is they have very cute little seed packets, but they don't include photographs of the seeds. So I'm just going to go through these somewhat quickly. These are all heirloom seeds. No hybrids, nothing GMO from this company, and that's why we chose to go with them. So Cosmic Purple Carrot, a Kentucky Wonder Pole Bean. This is one of my mother's favorites, so that's why I wanted to get that one. Contender Bush Beans. That's one of our favorites. I prefer bush beans. That's the way I like them. Great Northern Bush Bean. And as an aside, that's a white bush bean. I also saved a bag of store-bought what are these, pinto beans or something? I don't even remember now. That's terrible. I'm going to see if the bag was damaged and we didn't want to eat them. So I decided to put them in a jar and see if they will sprout. If they sprout, they're going in the ground. We have giant gray stripe sunflowers. One of our daughters, Leah, loves sunflowers, so these will be her project. Cimarron lettuce, which is a romaine style. Let's see. Danvers carrots for an orange carrot. A head lettuce that's called All Year Round. That's just the name of that one. Sweet corn, Country Gentleman. Japanese hull-less popcorn. Red Russian kale. And large purple kidney bush bean. So that's what we ordered this year from Victory Seeds. We haven't used them before, so I'll have to let you know how those seeds work for us, but we've seen good reviews from other folks for those. Now we have some newer seeds in here that we ordered this year. My fancy container, sorry. Let's see what we have. We got this for free in the mail. This is for the daughter who loves sunflowers, also loves tea. And these are peppermint seeds that came from Celestial Seasonings, so not exactly an heirloom seed necessarily, but it made it into the container. The next place we ordered from was Baker Creek Heirloom Seeds, and they're at rareseeds.com. And I'll put the links to all of these companies down in the description box for you. But from Baker Creek, we got Thai Surinari bush beans. These are to grow very long. Let's see if it says on the back how long they grow. It does not, but they're supposed to be a very long pod. So we thought that would be fun. Something different. Oh, and everyone who orders from Baker Creek gets a free gift of a different kind of seed. And this one is the American melon. So we'll see how that works out. Beets. Mammoth red mangle. They're also known as mangle wurzels. When they're small, these beets are great for human consumption, and when they're big, they're good for animals. So that's why we chose to go with those. These will grow, the reason they're called mammoth, they will grow up to 20 pounds each. each beet, 20 pounds, in ideal conditions. We'll see how they grow for us here. We have somewhat sandy soil that we're amending, but that's going to take some time. And my parents next door have an older garden bed that is in much better condition than ours. So we'll probably split them up between the two and see where they grow best. These are running conch cowpeas. I have never had cowpeas in my life. I don't know why I ordered those, but I guess it will be an adventure. A crisp green leaf lettuce with a French name I won't try to pronounce. Yellow flat Dutch onion. Omaha pumpkin. Golden Jubilee tomato. Ferris wheel tomato. Roma tomato. Pierce's Pride tomato. And a cornmeal corn. It's called the corn pencil cob dent is what the label says, but it's for cornmeal. So we have popcorn, sweet corn, and cornmeal corn, 3 different types, and we certainly will plant those separate from one another so we don't get cross-pollination. And yes, it's a little bit late in the year to be starting tomato seeds, but we're going to try it. We have an experiment we want to do to see what makes the different types grow the best. We will also be purchasing peppers and some tomato plants from the Amish. In our area, if you go to the greenhouse that the many Amish families have, the greenhouses here, and they will sell plants that they have grown in their greenhouse with fertilizers, commercial fertilizers, and maybe from hybrid seed. You specifically have to ask them for their own stock, and they will sell that to you. That is heirloom seed and grown organically, and it's not a problem. It really doesn't cost you anymore. In fact, last year they had a lot of extra plants because the growing season went so well early on, and they sold them very cheaply, more cheaply than we could buy what was generally in their greenhouse and available to the public. Also, in my fancy container here, I have old seeds, and I'll show these to you because we have a plan for these. Now these are an old green bean seed. I can't even tell you what kind they are, and they were sent to me by a friend. I can't tell you anything about them other than they're very old. We're going to try them this year in an extra patch that we have. So if they grow, great. If they don't, they haven't taken up the space that we've set aside for our eating and canning green beans. Now, these all came from an eBay seller, and they disappeared when we moved, so they're quite old. So we're just going to give them a try. Again, we're not going to set aside our prime garden space for these. There's a video, and I'll link it in the description box too, by user John. His username is jnull0, and he called it guerrilla gardening, where he went into the woods and he and his children planted in the fertile soil under the leaves. Kind of a God-made back to Eden method, using the back to Eden method of gardening, but not even having to create your own mulched area. It's already created by God for you. We have a couple of good spots for that. So we're going to take all of the vining plant seeds that are in this batch and put those in that section of the woods. And if they grow, great. If they don't, well, at least we tried. It'll take us maybe a couple of hours at the most, probably not that long. And we won't be out that much time. We'll enjoy some time outdoors and see how it goes. So this is an eBay seller, and if they are still selling, I will link to them in the description box too. These are also heirloom seeds, and they were quite affordable at the time. This is a butternut winter squash. Rockdoor bush beans. Broccoli. This is a zucchini squash. That one is empty. These are sugar snap peas, Connecticut field pumpkin, Hale's jumbo melons, and that one is also empty. So here we have 4 vining plant types of seed, and those we're going to put in our little guerrilla gardening and in the fashion of jnull0. So again, I'll put the links in the description box for these. If you have an heirloom, organic, non-GMO seed source that you'd like to share, please either do a video response if you've already created a video for that, or put a link in the description box, because we would like to try some different companies next year as well, so that we can see what grows best in our area. We don't necessarily want to go with just one company. We want to have options, and we want to be able to recommend options to other people. So there you go. Those are our seeds. We will be planting these hopefully tomorrow. We have scattered thunderstorms coming through the area. It looked like it was going to storm just before I started this video, and now it's blue skies and sunshine. So I don't think the weathermen know what's going to happen over the next few days, and we'll see if we can get some of these in. Some of the tomatoes and such are going to go into the greenhouse. We aren't actually putting anything in the ground here in Wisconsin, at least in my part of Wisconsin, for a couple more weeks yet. We are having a cold snap coming in the next few days, and that could happen again. A lot of times we don't put a garden in until May 31st. That's our goal here. So we're a little bit behind on some of the things we should start in a greenhouse, such as the tomatoes, but if we do a good job with those, we still have time for them to be viable when the time comes to put the garden in. So thanks for watching, and if you have any comments, please leave them in the comments box. I'd appreciate it. Thank you. We're done now, Tang. Tang, we're done. Okay, I'm done, and I'm going to clean up and move the shade